Hello players, Ace Ready here for another video. Today we'll be reading from Entitled Parents. Our first story here is Parent of Landscaper demands 10 times the agreed upon amount. So this last year my backyard has exploded in weeds 6 feet tall and so thick that my German Shepherd can't walk through it. I called and interviewed about 6 landscapers. I need to clean up, want pavers installed, and dream of landscaping the backyard to being functional and beautiful. I have a few $1,000s set aside for this. I choose one with excellent reviews and run by a pretty young guy looked to be in his 20s. We settled on a price, not the cheapest quote, but is competitive. For the cleanup first and work was done. He left to dump the reviews and came back to get payment. When he came back about an hour later, he was out of his work clothes and a button up with a tie accompanied by a very attractive blonde who must go to spinning class religiously since she was very fit. She was in a form-fitting red dress, long legs, heels, with done-up hair like she was going to be going out. When he introduced her as his mom, it was a little shocking since she did not look my age. And he explained that they were going to dinner after this to celebrate her birthday. He had told me about her while he was working and said that I would really like her. I told her happy birthday and flirted a bit about how good she looks and she should get a spanking. Sounds creepy, as all Mormon family stuff does. I'm an ex-Mormon, by the way. But this kind of tradition, it is a kind of tradition for birthdays. She giggles and is super uncomfortable. Back to business. He produced an invoice for the cleanup and an estimate for the next 2 jobs. I looked over the cleanup invoice and counted out the cash for that. It was only a couple $100. In my hand was a couple thousand intended for the deposit of the rest. As he was writing up a receipt and collecting his tools, his mom came up and talking and flirting. I let my guard down. I'm seriously liking this woman. As we talk, she sees the majority of the onions still in my hand. She glances at the bill estimate on the pillar of my front door. She begins yelling at the top of her lungs that I'm ripping off her son. The amount that I paid for was not for the total on the bill. She was pointing to the estimate quote, which was in the thousands of dollars, and she learns the rest of the cash I had in my hands. Thankfully, the landscaper, drawn by the yelling, held his mother back. However, she didn't stop. She juked around her son, grabbed my wallet that was sitting on the pillar. She ran to his truck, closed and locked the doors like a child. She immediately started taking pictures of my credit cards with her phone while her son was frantically trying to get into the truck, but he left his keys in the driver's seat. I'm not upset. I'm not even fazed. Unfortunately, crazy tends to find me, so I have already had my card shut off from active purchases, and all my cash that was in my wallet is still in my hand. My ID or anything else is never kept in my wallet for this very reason. This is not the first time that some random, dearly related person has done something like this. I tell him I'm going to call the police in a loud voice, but quietly inform him that his truck's back window is still open. As I make a show of calling in front of her, he squirms through the side window. He gets in, grabs the phone, my wallet, gives it back, takes her phone, shows me that he has deleted the pics of my cards. He looks mortified from embarrassment, leaving without pressing if the next round of jobs are still a possibility. I'm still going to see him again. He left without his tools. Ooh, that just had to sting a little for the son. Ooh, crazy parents. I don't even... I'm sorry, it's just funny. This story is called, No, Your Son Can't Play in Our Moving Crash. I work for a moving company in the Midwest. I'm not going to name any names, but let's just say it involves 2 dudes in a large vehicle. It's a solid, if not back-breaking job. One day we were slated to move a woman out of her now ex's home. This wasn't an uncommon occurrence, as most divorces we have anything to do with are more than amicable. Just the occasional argument over who gets to keep what, but nothing heated. Heck, those types of moves usually tip the best. Side note, tip your movers, servers, or anyone with that type of job. This particular move was something special though. This house was situated on a hill with 3 floors including a basement. Not an easy move, but not the hardest. That didn't stop Karen and her overdeveloped mayonnaise stain through. The entire time we were moving furniture, the mother and her roughly 9-year-old son kept harassing us, complaining about the noise. Us taking too long? We charged by the hour. Then there's this big issue. Customers are never allowed on the truck. This was just to avoid any items being removed, haphazard, or anything like that. As we were finishing up our portion of the move, my driver was getting paperwork, and I was strapping down the last of the furniture. I noticed EK wandering around the front of the truck. I didn't really think much of it. I mean, he's probably never even seen a truck like this before. At least not this one. I peek around the corner. Me, hey little guy, can you stay where we can see you? I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Kid blows a raspberry and runs off, turning shortly with his mother. EM, what did you say to my son? Me, oh nothing, just to stay where we can see him. EM now looking like she just drank sour milk. Look, I'm paying you, so just do your job and don't worry about what he's doing. Me being the pushover I am. Yes, ma'am. Just make sure he stays safe. Ian, fine. Whatever. Not 2 seconds later, the kid is gone. I'm obviously worried, but I just wanted to finish the job and go home. I hop on the back of the truck, finish loading up our ramps. As a noise makes my heart sink. It was the sound of a parking brake being disengaged. With the parking brake, there's a big yellow button that I doubt most kids could resist. Not the best design, but what can you do? I feel the truck slowly start to roll. Without thinking, I jumped off the back and yelled for help. The truck rolled about 30 feet downhill and ironically into the corner of a mechanic shop. Ian came out shrieking, cussing like a retired sailor, blaming me and saying that I should have been watching her kid. I didn't pay attention as I was running over the truck to check on the kid. Thank every deity above that his mother actually taught him to wear a seatbelt. EK was just a little scratched up from the broken windshield. I pulled the, for some reason, giggling child from the truck, only to have him yanked away and replaced with a hearty slap. We called our station and reported what happened. EM had her move cancelled, but was still billed for the damages to both the truck and building, which she refused. I'll post a hopefully shorter update when I learn more. Oh, I hope she has to pay for everything. Actually, she should, and probably will, actually. This story is called Science Camp. Mom B says 12-year-old me I can't shoot that rocket. Backstory: I'm a pretty big nerd. Love math, science, and reading, so signing up for this camp made me ecstatic. Mom B's kid went to my elementary school, but this summer after the camp they were moving. I was the second to oldest one there, and it was our local science museum. Moms were allowed, but being 12, I didn't want my mom to be there, so I still have the rocket. Memory is a bit fuzzy, but I remember it pretty well. My instructor is my older brother's friend's mom, and knew me since I was 5. This camp was for 8 to 13-year-olds. Mom B's kid was 10, so my younger brothers. She also did this with the baking soda volcano at the beginning. The first day my mom drops me off with my younger brother. He's taller than me now, shorter than me then. I was on the verge of tears from excitement. We said our goodbyes and went to the museum, sat down at the camp table. This was the last camp me and my younger brother would do together for a long time. See the tools and even get more excited. I have high-functioning autism. When I get excited, I bounce up and down. Small detail, but important. In comes Entitled Mother. NLBF, younger brother's friend. Oh, little brother's friend. EM sees me excited and frowns, possibly thinking I'm too old for a science camp. I say hi and I'm very excited about this, and she didn't respond. 5 minutes later, the instructor is talking about what we're doing, says to pick a partner. I do with a friend a little older than me, 13. I made it art camp a week ago. Day camps are a week long where I live. We start doing the volcano, and guess who comes? Entitled Mother. Ian. Hi. I'm gonna name him Michael for the fun of it. Hi, Michael. Aren't you an ACF too old for this? Me? What? To the activity here. Ian. Not yelling, but mad now. How dare you, little delinquent? Michael, confused. I actually follow every rule I've ever heard. Ian, talking back is against the rules. Me now actually talking back. Jesus. I wasn't talking back. Ian thinking she can punish me. You can't continue this activity. Instructor. Hi, Michael. How are things going here? Me. Ian is telling me I can't do the activities anymore. Instructor. Entitled Mother. She and ACF can. Hours later, we're making the rockets, and I'm the first done. I go to the door outside. That's what the instructor said to do. The rule is the first one done is the first to go. Ian comes over once everyone is done. NK was the second to finish. Ian comes over to me. You be the first one done? Me, super happy. Yep. Ian, I think the young kid should go first. Me, not as happy now, but I was the first one done. Ian, but you're almost too old for this. I was the first one done. Instructor. Okay, kids, let's go. Bye, Mrs. Entitled Mother. After that, Mom picked us up and we told her everything. Not bad. EP wants my bike. Chases me with a car and gets arrested. Okay, this is my first post in the sub and I have a bunch of Entitled Parent stories. I could tell, but I decided to tell this one as I can remember it with good detail, and I say it deserves more to be posted here. I'm a modal, yada yada. This might be a bit long, but I remember I was 13, I think at the time. My cast is pretty standard. Me, I'll never guess. My friend, Entitled Dad, honestly might have been a grandpa for all I know. Backstory: I have a pretty cool and old bike. It's a banana bike. It looks really sweet and retro. It doesn't ride the best, but I like it. So I ride it, I get a lot of comments on it. This story took place in my cottage, where there's an old town with some about 10 to 15 small stores. on a big lake too, and I was with my friend. So me and F were in town riding along with our bikes. We were just coming out of an ice cream place. We had recently bought and finished our treats. We were about to head back to my cottage when Entitled Dad showed up. He was parked in the store in front of the library, I think, and obviously saw me on my bike. Dialogue went like this. Entitled Dad, hey kid, come here. Me goes there, hello. Entitled Dad, is that your bike? Prepared for the usual comment about my bike. Yeah, it's an old one. At this point, my friend behind me is just watching the conversation. Entitled Dad, did you buy it? No, it's a hand-me-down. I got it from my grandfather, which is true. So you didn't buy it? I guess not. That's kind of spoiled, eh? Not really. Would you mind if I take that bike? I know my son would love a bike like that. Me. It's my bike and I like it a lot, so I wouldn't mind that. Entitled Dad, come on. It doesn't even fit you. It fit me perfectly. Me. Sorry, sir, but I should head back now. Sorry if I troubled you. Me and my friends started riding back to my cottage. Until Dad yelled, "Hey, wait!" We didn't. We kept going. I didn't want to do anything with him, although we didn't really need to go back. Now he got mad. We heard him yell something after us, but we didn't stop. Soon I turned and saw him in his car speeding up behind. He was going too fast. The round we were biking on was a one-way road. Thankfully, he was going the right way, but it wasn't a large road. There wasn't really room for a car and a bike to be beside each other. Here's where the part where about the lake comes in. The road was on a bridge going over the water. It didn't have sides or railings, so basically if you walk off of it, it wasn't big. Only about 4 feet above the water. He was coming behind us, and we were on the road above the water with him on our tails. Me and friend panicked. We started pedaling as fast as we could, not get caught. A friend biked faster than me, reached the end much before me. I didn't. He was about a meter behind me, and there was still about 12 yards left on the road. F had a head start, so he could reach the end. He yanked really loud, and he shouted right behind me, so I swerved to the right and fell into the water. I jumped on my bike just before I fell. The more I jumped, I more jumped, so I fell in with just my helmet on. Before my beloved bike didn't fall in, which was unlikely. The man stopped just as I fell in, but he would have hit me. He almost did. Thank God I was a good swimmer, and thank God the water is only about 4 feet deep. I swam to the side crying. I was scared and in shock. A lot of people saw, and many were coming to help. My friend was stuck on the other side, so he gave me moral support. I asked if I was okay, you know. The man came out of his car, not at all forgiving. I didn't look at him. Some kind strangers helped me, asked if I was okay, where my parents were. I told one of them my parents' number, and he called them. The man got into an argument with the people helping me. I didn't really know what he said, but it was probably an accident. Clearly not. Anyway, my parents came, yelled furiously at the man. He was still there. Someone had called the cops, and the cops were about to arrive, so the people made sure the man didn't leave. I dried myself off. It was a hot summer day, thankfully, because the water can be really cold. Stuff happened. I'm pretty sure he got arrested. At least I saw him being put in the back of a police car. I didn't see handcuffs, but I also didn't see his hands. So I'm not sure about that one. In the end, he was just a dumb, entitled parent. I'm not sure if he would have actually hit me, but it was plenty scary enough. TLDR, chilling my friend, Entitled Dad shows up, demands my bike, then chases me. I ended up falling into a shallow lake. I'll gladly make edits and corrections if needed. Edit, thanks for silver, I appreciate it. Didn't expect this to get much support as it did. Thanks you all. And that's the last story for the day. If you want to see more and you like this subreddit, remember to pimps like them, follow me, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff, and keep on playing, players. Peace. Bye.